Hello guys and welcome to Easy Biome. Today's video is going to be about DNA and the production of proteins. So basically just DNA and how proteins are made. First, let's talk about DNA. What does it look like? What's its job? So what exactly is DNA? DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. I know it's a mouthful, but you don't need to memorize this at all. It's found in all cells, the nucleus to be specific, and has information. So, what's its job? Well, it's kind of like the boss of the cells. It has instructions on how to make proteins, which are extremely important, and tells the cell how to make them. DNA is stored inside chromosomes. When I was learning this, I would always get confused and think that DNA stored chromosomes instead of the other way around. So, if you look at the picture on your screen, you'll see and hopefully understand how it works. So, the organism has cells, which you know. The cell has a nucleus inside the nucleus. There are chromosomes, and in chromosomes, there are DNA. Now, you know what DNA is and what it does. It has instructions to make proteins. What exactly are proteins? Meat? You'll hear that foods such as meat or nuts are proteins. Well, they actually contain proteins. Let's learn about what proteins actually are. Proteins. You've heard that they are important, right? But why though? Proteins are crucial because they are very important in dealing in the features and or characteristics of cells and organisms. Humans, plants, blah, blah, blah. So, things like eye color, height, and body structure are decided by proteins. I have really dark eyes, while someone else might have blue eyes. That's because of our different proteins. We'll talk more about proteins later, but first, let's introduce nucleotides. Nucleotides are like the bricks of a house, the house being DNA. Nucleotides essentially make up DNA. Each nucleotide looks like the one on your screen. There are 4 types though, with different bases. If you look at the picture, you can see that some of the bases can complete each other. They are complementary. Adenine is complementary to thymine and guanine is complementary to cytosine. The nucleotides join together to form strands. If you look at the shape of DNA, you can see that it's twisted. This is called a double helix shape, and that's because the strands twist around each other. But what holds the strands together? Well, they're held by, if you do chemistry, this might sound familiar, hydrogen bonds between the base pairs. All you need to know, though, is that they are held by weak bonds. Now back to proteins. It might sound confusing going back and forth, but I promise it'll make much more sense like this. Proteins are made from amino acids. What are amino acids? Amino acids are molecules made from 3 bases. Remember the bases I talked about in the DNA and the nucleotides? Okay, let's talk about genetic information and the genetic code. Genetic information is simply a sequence of bases. Genetic code is formed by the arrangement of bases in DNA. The sequence of bases in DNA decide the order of amino acids in a protein. This in turn decides the type of protein made and its function. This might seem a little confusing, but it will all make sense soon. Before we move on to more about proteins, let's talk a little bit about genes. You've heard the word gene thrown about a lot, I'm guessing. But what actually is a gene? Well, a gene is a sequence of bases, also known as genetic information, that codes for a protein. Remember how I said previously that DNA had instructions that the cell uses to make proteins? Well, that is through the sequence of bases. So, where exactly are proteins made? There are 2 processes involved in making proteins. The first one occurs in the nucleus, and the second one happens in the ribosome. Remember, the ribosome is the site of protein synthesis. Anyway, to move from one place to the other, you need some sort of transport. It can't magically appear there. How does that happen though? We'll talk about that in the next video, proteins. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more videos. Until next time.